horror and action films and romantic comedies are the three most popular film styles, and they're the most marketable. So romantic comedies are fun, but it's not my field, so I really don't know how to advise you what the
So
key is to make.
my question, huh?
Go ahead, Eric.
Okay, I'm going to ask you two newcomers in this area of try to be, or who someone who have dreams to be a good director, good filmmaker. Your opinion, your advice to him or her. That is what I want to know. That
I'm
is
sorry,
all my.
I missed a little bit. You dropped out. My advice about what exactly?
Okay, I just wanna ask you, like like become newcomers in this action. Who has that? Who has that dreams like the directors?
I'm having a little trouble hearing Eric. Peter, can you hear his question and tell me?
I didn't hear it, guys. Maybe it would be easier if you type your question in the chat box. It would be easier, as a second, since English is our second language. It's hard for Richard to hear you guys and the internet issues as well. Can you please type the questions in the chat box, please?
Yeah, thank you. I see one from Paul. Hey there, what's the thing that you knew so late in your career you wish you could have known years earlier, and hopefully you would like to share this with a young generation of filmmakers? You guys asked really great questions. The thing which I wish I knew earlier was to be a little bit more humble around my coworkers, and let them shine, like I was talking before about the leadership qualities. That I think that listening well, whether you're listening well to an interview subject or listening well to a colleague or someone on your crew, or even listening to an actor that you're directing. When you're young, you think you know a lot, and the truth is, life is learning all the way forever. So just, keep an open mind. And I think that's the number one thing. But the other thing too is, if you do make a mistake, if you do fail, that's part of the process. And you have to be forgiving to yourself. If you make something and you don't like it or it turns out badly, don't give up. You had just a valuable learning experience. That's what it is. Paul asks a second question. What are platforms that you use to keep learning? Well, I just watch films. I watch films and I analyze them. I particularly, for myself, I'm kind of a history guy, so I study, I read, and I make sure that I have a mastery over the material that I'm trying to share. The Business Arrow film that we're working on, we've been researching it for 4 years, for an example. Here's a question from Raman. Can a background in filmmaking provide a solid foundation into writing for animated series? Absolutely. Storytelling is universal art that has many applications. You can storytell through documentary, you can storytell through a short feature film. Story is story, and if you're doing an animated story, the same rules of telling a story apply whether you're telling a story through animation, feature, documentary, or whatever medium.
Hategekimana, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks. So my question is like, I'm a student for East African University. So I'm a boy who have a vision to develop Rwandan cinema. So I'm glad to meet someone professional, like producing 200 film documentaries or 200 something. That's a lot of projects. So I wanna ask you first, if you see any Rwandan film, on which level can you mark it or rank it, like percentage?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by percentage, but I can tell you some Rwandan films that I think have been really good.
Yeah.
If that's helpful. I thought that Neptune Frost was pretty amazing. Neptune Frost was written by an American rapper, singer, but his wife is Rwandan and she was the producer of the film, and the film was, Rwandan, from top down. So I don't know if you guys have seen Neptune Frost, but it was very fresh. And I thought that was something I'd never seen before in Rwandan cinema. One of my favorites, I think, Joel Karakese made a great film, Mercy of the Jungle. And he did that, he shot in Uganda, but it's let's say it's East African film for sure. And that was really, I thought that was a good film. The film Kinyarwanda was also directed by an American, African American, but was shot in Rwanda, and there were many mostly Rwandan cast and crew. But Kennedy was great in that movie. I thought the movie was, the only problem I had with the movie, and it unfortunately didn't get very much distribution, is that it took a lot of different stories and tried to put them together. It was ambitious. It was trying to tell the story of the Muslim community. It was trying to tell the story of the witch. It was trying to tell the story of, things that didn't really happen together. So I felt that was a little scattered, and kind of lost the thread a little bit. But, I really do applaud the effort that was made. And then, the films that the Western filmmakers come in and make in Rwanda, they all have problems as far as I'm concerned, like with authenticity, with accuracy, and they just sort of take advantage, and they actually put Africans in the background, and they usually put Westerners in the foreground, which is totally crazy and something I always makes me mad. But yeah, I think that I'm looking forward to seeing like the next round of films that are coming out of Rwanda. Our Lady of the Nile was a Belgian film, I think, made in Rwanda with a largely Rwandan cast, of course. I thought that was a really beautiful film, and probably one of the better Western co-production films with Rwanda. But I'm looking forward to see the next round of films that come out of Rwandan filmmakers themselves. And I know there's a couple. There was one that was in a film festival last year that I would like to see that one. And I know Clementine, if you know her, she has a film coming out soon. But I think it's going to take years for the Rwandan film community to get enough resources, and that literally means money.
My point is that like I have like 46 films I noted in my film project book. So I want to shoot it if I get funds or anyways. But I want to ask you for, that's a lot of project. That's a lot of project, which is a very hard work for me. Like to create 46 films in Rwanda, it's like kind of hard. So I want to ask you that which way I will pass through or where I will get support to produce it.
Yeah, it's hard. You need to create a relationship with the film office it's still with the RDB. You at least to find out information from them, because they can sometimes connect you with co-production partners. It's good to make a relationship with the Ministry of Youth and Arts, because they sometimes will actually be able to grant small amounts of money. There are foundations in Rwanda, like the Bank of Kigali has a foundation, and you can apply. They have put money towards films before,
Yeah.
You have to do research though, because there are East African film funds. There are funds that you would qualify for that I can't qualify for, of course, and that's as it should be. And
Yeah.
so there are East African film funds, and I think there's one in Kenya. And you just have to do the research. You have to network with other filmmakers and producers, and find out how they're getting their stuff. Like Joel Karakesi, his next film is going to be mostly financed by the French. And that he spent years networking to get to that position.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That's my questions. My pleasure.
Sure.
Guys, as we wrap up, is there anyone else who have a question for Richard? Richard, you mentioned you were doing with Cicero, and there was I don't know if I misunderstood you, but did you say there was a training you did with some other director? Can you please repeat that part, because I didn't get you?
Yes, last month we did a workshop with the Ministry of Youth and Arts.
In Rwanda?
Yeah, it was yeah, we did it here in Kigali, there in Kigali. We had about 50 plus people from the film community that participated in the workshop, where they learned about acting, directing, cinematography, and story. There will be another workshop. We haven't announced when it's going to be yet. We haven't decided. And that's why at the very beginning of this meeting, I suggested that somehow get yourself on Moya's mailing list on the Ministry of Youth and Arts. Contact them and just say, I was not invited, or I did not know about your workshop in January. Can I please be on your list if there's another workshop so that I can apply for it?
Got it. The second question I had is about the documentary. You keep talking about, like, where can one watch it online? Because, like, I found your work on IMDb, so the documentary you mentioned is not there. Like, where can one find it? One find it?
Well, the 600, do you know where to find? It's the 600movie.com.
No, like that documentary about the person who immigrated to the US and was looking for.
Yeah, it's called Death of a Shaman. And it was done for the public broadcasting system of the United States, which is known as PBS.
Oh, it's on PBS, okay.
Yeah, it was a PBS project. It was funded by an organization called ITVS. So sometimes you look for it through PBS or ITVS. I don't know if you you can buy it on Apple TV. It's $1.95.
That's not a lot.
Yeah. But if you like Peter, I can always send you a link.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, just send me a thing on an email, and I'll make sure to reply with a link to the film.
Okay.
Jean-Vier says, how can you get in touch with me for more questions? Find me on LinkedIn. I don't check it every day, but that's how Peter and I communicated.
Nizere ko nta muntu tunigana ijambo. Niba hari ufite ikibazo cya nyuma mbere yuko dusoza cyangwa twasoza.
I go on, please, I go on. I just want to say, before he go, we're gonna need his contact email or WhatsApp.
Yamaze kugisubiza. He just answered it. He's on LinkedIn. You can just look up his name and follow him. He's on LinkedIn.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
One more question, please.
Yes, one last question before we close this meeting. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, sir, like we are young African filmmakers, I have one question. What are the opportunities that we have and we are unbranded to see it? Can you give us a hint?
I'm sorry, can I give you what?
A hint to
A
the
hint?
opportunities
Well,
that are there and we are so branded not to see it.
right. So my best advice would be try to get on one of the larger film crews in any position. You know, you could be a driver, you could be a runner, you could be a PA. I think you probably know this, but what I've discovered about the film community in Rwanda is that the people that get most of the work together, and then they keep recommending each other for, you know, the next project. And the the best way to get experience is to watch professional crews in action. I would just find out what, if anything, if you have any connection to anybody who's working on any film, you know, find your entry level position on that film. Like if you consider yourself a cinematographer, but you can only be a PA, be a PA, but keep your eye on what the cinematographer is doing. You'll learn a lot. So just being around filmmaking is super helpful. If you can get onto, yeah, there's usually, you know, 2 or 3 kind of larger productions going on in Rwanda every year. You know, try to get on the crew in any position. And then you'll be networking with people who are also trying to network with people above them. And then they're networking with people above them. And, you know, that kind of experience and knowledge kind of will filter down to you. So put yourself, I'm trying to think, like when I started in media, I literally ran film to the lab. Like they would shoot film, they would hand it to me, and I would run 2 blocks to the lab where it was and hand it to the lab, and that was my job. But I learned so much because I just kept my eyes open. And then when I got inside a production, I was a very low position, but I watched the people in the high positions. I watched how they did their job. And that's how I figured out that I could do that. You know, like one day I used to look at a producer and I'd go, I can do that job. I want to be a producer. So I kept my eye on the producer. And that sort of informed all my decisions about work that I was doing going forward. So if you can get around a larger production in Rwanda, that would be, or anywhere, that would really be great. It's a good place to start and watch, and you see how people work. You can also learn from other people's mistakes too, when you watch.
Richard, we have, I know like you gave us 45 minutes. We are way beyond that. There are 2 people who have questions. I don't know if you want to answer them or like you want to end the meeting here. I'll leave the decision to you.
Totally fine, totally fine. Go ahead.
Okay, Gads, you raise your hand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gad. I have a question to ask, which is related to the that we've been asking. As a filmmaker or product director, and you're director in a career, you say that here in Rwanda we have, of course, it is well known that we have this problem of resources. I mean, so financially, in one sense, it is a big problem. So as a new filmmaker, a director, you want to make a very standardized movie that you can at least screen everywhere and everyone sees that this really movie is highly standardized. What advice can you give to people? Sometimes we think of this green screen, sometimes some people cannot afford or have, I mean, enough uh, financial stabilities that they can use to access it and this visit. What idea can you give to a new filmmaker uh, a very good movie with low cost? That is my question. Thank you so much.
So, Gad, I'm sorry, the audio was a little muffled. Peter, were you able to hear Gad's question a little bit better?
No, I
Or
did
maybe-
not.
Well,
I
maybe
just,
type your question.
yes, that will be better. Good.
While we're waiting for Gad to type his question, I see that Jean Goga said, "What are the factors to consider when you are going to write an action movie?" So make sure you have permission to shoot your car crash without getting arrested by the local authorities. And I sort of mean that because action movies, that's all about what locations you're filming at and how much freedom you have, to do the things you want to do. So if you want to have, for example, if you want to have a car crash, you have to make sure that you have a car that you can crash and then properly clean up after. And you have to make sure that you have all the permissions that you need to film somewhere and that your filming does not, disturb people that are going around their daily life. That's one thing. The other thing about an action movie is from a story point of view, action movies are, typically they have less story because they're relying on the action. But just make sure you have a good story as well, so that the action is not just action for action's sake, but that there's a story that still makes you feel a certain way by the end of the story, and not just like seeing a lot of crashes or explosions or people getting shot or whatever. There has to be a good point to the story. So you still have to have, even in an action movie, you still have to care about the main characters. Shakul Media says, so I think that's just a note about how he has to leave the meeting. Gad, have you had a chance to type your question?
Nelly has raised her hand. We can hear out. Nelly, go ahead.
Thank you.
Sorry, Nelly. There's a lot of interference on your. We can't hear you. I'm sorry, Nelly.
Are you right? Right is wrong.
I think you need to type your question, Nelly. There's some interference on your audio.
Richard, let's not take too much of your time. Thank you for your for everything, for the knowledge you imparted with us. And
Oh, Nelly, let me just answer Nelly really quick. She wanted to know about rom-coms. Nelly, I commented on that before, that it's not my field. I don't know that much about them, but it is a very popular genre after horror films and action films. Rom-com is number 3. And so if you become good at making rom-coms, you will always have an audience. And Gad's question, as a new filmmaker or director in a career with financial inabilities, what advice can you give to make have a standardized movie with usage of green screen? Green screen is brilliant, and so is a lot of what's going on with CGI and even AI. Those technologies are becoming cheaper and cheaper, but they still cost something. A green screen has to be lit properly, or else it will look bad. But if you can understand how to light a green screen, and how to put in post-production, how to put whatever background you want into the green screen. I think that's a terrific way with limited money to make a film. But you're limited in how much movement that you can make. Like green screens are you, Kelly, can you mute? So green screens are like, they're ideal for interviews or stationary shots. But as soon as people begin to move, even if their hand is moving, if you don't light it correctly, if someone's talking and they move their hand in front of their face, their hand will become green, you know? So you have to really understand lighting, how to use a green screen. There are other ways to use, you know, technology to save money on your films, but they're not free. The green screen is still the cheapest, but you still have to be able to handle it with care as far as the lighting goes, and restrict your green screen, the movement in your green screen, you have to restrict it. Otherwise you're going to get exposed as using a green screen. It'll become obvious. You know, I would just like to say in general, Peter, and to all of the members of the class, that, you know, filmmaking of whatever nature that you're going to do, it's really wonderful to be able to do it, but it is really difficult to get the resources to do it. And the thing that you need to do is you need to just try to get as much experience as you can by making your own small films with no money, finding yourselves working on other films, even small films or medium films or large films. And a lot of it's just going to be luck, like being in the right place at the right time. But you also have to keep studying all the places that support filmmaking in Africa, and you have to make yourself known to them. And you have to just collect information. And really, it can take years and years and years to get where you want to be. And even in Los Angeles and Hollywood, where I live, people do other jobs to support themselves, you know, because they stick with it. You have to believe in yourself. You have to collaborate. You have to analyze films. You have to get to know people. You have to network. All of these things are part of the job of filmmaking. It's not just, I have a camera, I'm ready to go. You know, it's a community effort. You have to be part of a community to make it happen.
Thank you so much, Richard. We appreciate you, and thank you so much for the knowledge you just imparted with us, and the advice. I've to be honest, I've reached out to so many people, and so many of them, you know, have, you know, asked me for money and everything. So the fact that, you know, you offered to share with us your knowledge for free, it's I cannot put a price tag on it. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Oh no, I'm very committed to my adopted country of Rwanda. I have a home there too, you know, and I'm anything I can do to help the community, I'm willing to do. It was great to meet you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank
Sure
you.
thing.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Wow.
Bye.
Electra. Ese Electra
Reka
Jema.
bagiye
Agiye nagaruke man, nagaruke.
ushaka kumubaza iki?
Njye Richard Mwana Mumbazi.
Byakaze.
Allah. Aaron.
Se murizera?
Turize
Umuriro
nyine.
wagiye mu ijoro.
Ninde se umuriro wagiye nkanjye? Mwe murize?
Burije ahantu hose ndaga.
Wagarutseho.
Umuriro wabuze bro.
Wagarutseho gamoto.
Nagira utunyuraho muri make y'ibyo bavuze ntabyo twumvishe.
Tubwira muri make ibintu uriya muzungu yatubwiraga.
Nabona gusezera se wamusezeye utabyumva ra?
ariko
gusezera niko kubyumva.
wari uvuze ngo bayi bayi.
Janvier numvaga ari ubaza cyane atubwira. Ushaka kumenya iki? Ushaka kumenya iki? Yababwiye ngo
Tubwire muri make ibyo uriya muzungu yavugaga.
Yababwiye ngo mushake amafaranga mwinvestinge muri filime muve muri ibyo bintu byanyu.
Nimubwira akaduhaho.
Mwinvestingemo gute?
Ushyiremo nyine ushyiremo ibishoro ugure kamera ukore n'ibindi.
Yewe nta kirimo n'ijyanire.
Iyo umuriro uragarutse we.
Uragarutse ariko iwawe gusa.
Ugarutse iwanyu gusa sha. Njye kutaza.
Ndabona ugarutse pe.
Ese kutaza.
Rege ndabona iri gutanga ibisobanuro bitumvikana kuri X.
Uje iwanyu gusamwa.
Rege ndabona iri gutanga ibisobanuro bitumvikana kuri X.
Ariko kwa Mugisha ni mu mwijima. Kankureho iyanjye. Ndabona byakaze. Nese ibyo nibyo byonyine yavuze? Kuva saa 12 kugeza saa moya.
Nabonye wari uhari full time.
Narimara ariko birinze birangira nta kintu kimwe numvisha. Ahubwo nyine mutubwire mwe mwumvisha.
Bamwe na bamwe.
Dore kwa Mugisha.
Ari inyajyana imono.
Waba uri muri yo kumva.
Abashaka twanabo. Mbona so mu rutaje.
Mugi nawe uraje?
Wapi dore phone man ese nubibona.
Nanjye wanze kuza.
Abanza kwa uri waje honyine twe.
Ewe.
Abantu bari kuza biranga.
Kare. Mwumbati iyo umeze iyo uteye ucuritse iyo umeze uri dushya cokoze
Salama wa boss. Ese ko numva nta n'umwe uvuga turamenya icyerekezo ari ikihe? Numva nta n'umwe uvuga turamenya tubifatira he?
Byarangiye mwana, byarangiye nta kindi. Abo mujye kuryama.
Hello guys, akantu bavuze mu k'ingenzi hari ugomba gukora ni ugushaka ibiceri, ubundi n'umuntu ushaka kuba umudirector mushya cyangwa iyo filime umwuka mwiza cyane ni ukujya wirekera ku bitekerezo by'abandi, ukarebera mu makosa y'abandi, ukagira icyo wahindura, ariko ukareba filime nyinshi cyane bishoboka koko. Namwumvishije nawe yumvise ko yavuze ko areba filime cyane kabisa, akayireba nk'umu audience, akongera akayireba nk'umu director ku rundi ruhande nyine nka filmmaker. Utuntu rero abantu dushyire mu mutwe cyane, abantu mu bitekerezo, ubundi turebe ko African movie zigeze ku rwego rusanzwe cyangwa Rwandan movie bazamura, bafite izo nzozi ariko murakoze cyane.